What's up, EV Clan? Alex Espion here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Pokemon Red Randomizer Nuzlocke. In the last episode, and the episode prior to that one, they were both big, hour-long grinding episodes. Which may sound really boring, but I assure you my commentary, aided in making the monotony less monotonous. Keep out of Team Rocket's way. But yeah, here we are in Celadon City, and we've just been using the past two episodes to sort of, like, get ready for Erika, because we just got 6 Pokemon on our team, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to lose any Pokemon in Erika's gym, but at the same time, I want my Pokemon to, like, these new Pokemon to get use. And while Lucy here, our Psyduck, probably won't, because the grinding for, Kyle took far longer than I thought, and we still, even after 2 hours of grinding Kyle, didn't get them up to a level that is similar to that of, our main Pokemon that we were using before. Hold on, let me just talk to this trainer, because this trainer is just like, this is great, this gym is great, it's full of women! And that's like, wow. They actually changed that line in Let's Go. They changed it to, this gym is full of strong trainers, which I think is really funny that, like, Nintendo actually showed less misogyny in future games. Because obviously, like, Nintendo is a Japanese company. Hey! You are not allowed in here! Nintendo's a Japanese company, so, it's hard to hold it against them, because that's just, like, their culture is much more gender-based than American culture. And, like, in American culture, we may see a line like that, and be like, oh, wow, this is an old man looking into a gym full of women and saying, wow, this gym is great, it's full of women, and we're like, ew, gross. But, like, in Japan, that was probably a perfectly normal thing. So, I think that it's awesome that, yes, we've had little progression, but at least with Nintendo, but it is progression, it is progression, nonetheless. Like, they are less misogynistic than they used to be, because the most recent Princess Peach game, I haven't played it, but I know it doesn't involve fighting with your emotions, like the first one. Which is just so crazy that they were like, oh, let's make a Princess Peach game, but she's a woman, so she fights with her emotions, rather than, like, actually attacking opponents with, like, I don't know, fists, or, like, making contact with them like Mario does. But, yeah, they are sending out a Venusaur, and Venusaur, as I've said in previous episodes, is trouble, and typically, they would be. However, in this particular playthrough, we do not have any Water-type Pokemon like we did in most other playthroughs, so Venusaur isn't as big an issue, but even still, we do not have anything that can handle Venusaur very well. Because, okay, let's go through a Pokemon here. Oh, sorry, let's go through a Pokemon here. Exit out of Pokemon menu. I was trying to see what Kyle was because I still don't know. Okay, so Kyle is a Gloom, which is not good because Venusaur is Poison Grass just like us. And we only have Poison and Grass for attacking moves, which means every move we use on him is not very effective. Andrew is an Electric type, and Grass is resistant to Electric, so our Thunder Shocks are also not going to work for Andrew. Gerald is our Fire type, who does not have a Fire type move, so that's not very good. However, I think that Gerald is a pretty good bet, because we hit pretty hard with those normal type moves. Our attack is pretty good. Yes, it is not. Yes, we are not, like, we don't have a super effective move on it, which is a shame because we're Fire type, so really we should. But at the same time, it is also just still not very effective on us because we're a Fire type, so I think that we have the best chance. Because yes, Jolteon can hit pretty hard with normal type moves as well, but Jolteon is not resistant to Grass like Gerald is, I think. Yes, Fire resists Grass. It is not only super effective on Grass, but resists Grass. But yeah, I think that given Nintendo is a Japanese company, I am pleased with the progression they've made in making their games less misogynistic. You're too rough. But yeah, okay, so earlier today I watched a Super Mario Odyssey video. I was getting bored, Yeah, I watched a Super Mario Odyssey video, and then that's when it hit me, because I saw something that confirmed something that I said in a previous episode. Because recently in a previous episode I was talking about the fact that, the kingdoms in Super Mario Odyssey, you don't visit the entire kingdom, you just visit small parts of every kingdom. And I was able to deduce this by the fact that these kingdoms are so small, while the Mushroom Kingdom is so big. And in Super Mario Odyssey, we are only shown a little bit of the Mushroom Kingdom, not the entire thing. So basically, but like, what confirmed this theory for me? This theory that is barely even a theory, but like, just to be clear, just in case y'all still had your doubts, when I saw that it says Bowser's, when you enter Bowser's Kingdom, it says Bowser's Kingdom, and then underneath Bowser's Castle. Obviously, Bowser's Castle is not just another name for Bowser's Kingdom, because Bowser's Castle is not the entire kingdom. So you are entering, so the thing on top, the kingdom, when you enter a kingdom, it says the name of the kingdom, and then something underneath that, which I previously thought was like the actual name of the kingdom. But in actuality, the name of the kingdom is simply, like Mushroom Kingdom, something, a word, and then followed by kingdom. All kingdoms are named in that convention. So it's not like Sand Kingdom is called Tostarena, but Mushroom Kingdom is just called Mushroom Kingdom. Or like, Seaside Kingdom is also called Bubbling, but Mushroom Kingdom is just called Mushroom Kingdom. Like, no. The thing is, they are all kingdoms in the Super Mario universe are named in this way, where it's like a word, and then kingdom. Sand Kingdom, Wooded Kingdom, Lake Kingdom, Seaside Kingdom. All of them are named something and then kingdom, like the Mushroom Kingdom is. But what we see as a, like, subtitle, I guess, not like subtitle, because I know that that's like what would appear on like YouTube videos, and like I watch too much YouTube. I guess it appears on like movies as well and like TV. Like, I guess like subtitles are the things that appear at, say, like translate things. So it's like English subtitles appear when they're speaking Spanish, when someone's speaking like Spanish or Japanese or literally any other language besides like English, to translate it into English, so people can read it and they can understand it if they speak English. And read English, I guess. I guess they wouldn't have to speak English, they just have to read it to understand subtitles. But it's not interesting because I feel like it's so interesting how with some languages it is like my makeup. It is so interesting how with some languages I feel like with other languages it's harder than it's like more difficult than others to like pick up reading versus like I feel like with with some languages it's like a way bigger difference than others, like being able to read it and being able to speak it. Aren't you the peeping Tom? See, that is the kind of thing where it's like they cut that crap out in remakes of this game. See, I didn't even know someone in the gym said something about it. I was just drawing attention to it to be like, oh yeah, I bet y'all didn't know that this guy's just a creeper. But no, they literally say it in the gym. That's amazing. Okay, at least Nintendo was self-aware back in 1996. At least they knew, at least to do that, at least to say that, at least to draw attention to the fact that this is not something you should do. Mind you, they were new on the block, you know, like they didn't have as much experience making video games and bringing them to an American audience as they do now. But at least they knew enough to clarify that it was incorrect. that is something you should not do. Dang, this is bad. This is really quite bad. So this dig is gonna do a lot because Doug Trio is like pretty buff, and it's not gonna be super effective on us because it's super effective on poison, yes, but we are also grass. It'll be super effective on Andrew, but then again, I don't know about our abilities to take it. It's super effective on Andrew, super effective on Gerald, super effective on Alice, I believe, is my haunter, so that leaves only Carly. Carly's coming back out. I guess Carly is just our savior in this, because everyone else is weak to ground, and honestly, like, Carly, it's just good to have a normal type for this reason, because you've seen in, like, the previous battles, like, that the opponent using moves that are like super effective on everyone on the team, except for Carly, because the thing is that's the advantage to normal types. Is like not only can they not be hit by ghost type moves, but there's also just like only one thing that is super effective on them. So they are just like a in this game, they are just like a like, you want the attack to be neutral, you send out a normal type, you know? Like, if the opponent, like, unless the opponent has, the Machop line, Hitmonchan, or Hitmonlee, they can't hit you with a super effective move in this game. Like, you are pretty much safe from super effective moves in almost every situation in this game, if you're a normal type. I'm in shock! But, yeah. As I was saying about Super Mario Odyssey, I shouldn't start talking, I'm just gonna have to voice another trainer. What do you have to say, ma'am? Look at my grass Pokemon! They're so easy to raise! See, that is another thing. I don't actually know how true that is, because I know that, like, certain Pokemon, like, level up quicker, and I know that, like, Professor Oak tells you that, Bulbasaur is, like, the easiest to raise. But I don't know, like, I've never fact-checked that. I can imagine it's true because, like, they keep saying it. But, like, they also have stopped saying that in later generations. Like, I've never heard that. I don't hear that in later generations. So I'm wondering if it's just, like, Gen 1 Grass-type Pokemon that are easy to raise, or if that feature was, like, removed entirely. Like, they just stopped. Well, I guess that's the same thing. Like, they didn't just, like, unless they just made Gen 1 Pokemon harder to raise. See, Gen 1 Grass-type Pokemon harder to raise. Yeah. I mean, I guess the most logical thing to assume, since they're no longer saying it, is that more later Pokemon Grass-type Pokemon that were introduced later, are not as easy to raise. They do not gain EXP as quickly. Because I feel like a lot of people see that line, at least I did, and for a while it didn't make sense to me. It's like, how are Grass-type Pokemon easier to raise? No! How are Grass-type Pokemon easier to raise? Like, what makes them easier to raise? But I think that after learning a lot more about Pokemon, and doing a Relicanth-only run, I can say, with confidence, that different Pokemon level up at different rates, and some of them are really slow, level up really slowly, so some of them level up really quickly. Mostly Legendaries level up pretty slowly. Pleased to meet you. My hobby is Pokemon training. So mostly Legendaries level up really slowly, while most Legendaries level up really slowly, while most starter Pokemon level up really quickly. Sorry, all starter Pokemon level up really quickly, because they just want you to use the starters. And they want them to be, like, a reliable team member. They want you to carry a starter through the game, and, like, keep coming back to it, because, like, so they make it easy to raise and powerful, because, like, they want you to get attached to that Pokemon. It is very interesting how they, like, it's very smart how they, like, go through, they do this, how they make starter Pokemon so good, to the point where, like, yes, some people would just keep them because it's, like, for, like, nostalgia purposes, like, oh, this was my first Pokemon, and they would continue to use their starters even if they weren't good, but the fact that starter Pokemon, as they evolve, are so good, makes it, like, even less common for people to box their starters. Oh, splendid! What does this woman have to say? I know that Erika is the one, next to me. Not like the one to the left of me. But I'm just gonna fight all the other trainers, first. Welcome to Celadon Gym! You better not underestimate girl power! Oh, trust me, I do not underestimate girl power. I've been seeing nothing but women, like, nothing but women and, like, one man in the past, like, 2 weeks. I'm not gonna go into detail, because, like, that's a little bit, yeah, I won't share about my personal life with y'all. Not, like, recent things, at least. I might, at some point, like, depends on what thing it is, but I choose to keep this quiet, personally. But, I haven't actually talked to a lot of men recently. Honestly, every contact in my phone is... I don't think there are any male contacts in my phone, if I'm being honest. So, in general, I just don't talk to men a lot. So yeah, I really... Trust me, woman, I do not underestimate girl power in the slightest. I am in full support of it. And, I will say, though, it is a little odd that you're welcoming me to the Celadon gym when I'm at the gym leader. It's a little strange. You could have welcomed me when I came in. That would have made a bit more sense. But here we are. I don't know what I was... I guess I had a Pokemon with, like, a... I was just doing that thing where I was, like, talking, and then while trying to figure out what Pokemon to send in, and then I forgot which Pokemon I'm actually fighting. So then I'm just like, oh, I'll just keep in what I have. I do that a lot, where I'm just like... I start to think about, like, what Pokemon would be the best to send in this situation, and then I talk while I'm thinking, and then all of a sudden that talking gets in the way of my thinking, so then I'm thinking about what I'm talking instead of thinking about what Pokemon to send out, and so then I just keep in what I have. And I'm surprised that hasn't really led to any bad situations for me, as of yet, in this series. It has definitely led to situations for me, bad situations for me in other playthroughs, which is nuts that it hasn't in this series, but it has in other playthroughs, because in other playthroughs, I'm not even talking. Like, there's not even something, like, I'm talking about to distract me. Like, in other playthroughs, I literally just get distracted and then forget what Pokemon is coming in. And it's crazy to me that, like, I feel like that's happened less. Like, all of a sudden, I'm talking to an audience, and I'm getting distracted less from the game. It's really odd how that works. You'd think it would be more, because I have to concentrate on talking to an audience, but for some reason, I'm just, like, in my own head so much, and, like, so airheaded, I suppose, that, like, even when I'm not talking to an audience, beaten! Even when I'm not talking to an audience, I'm, like, I get all spacey, and I forget what Pokemon is coming in, and I forget what I'm doing, and I forget to buy Pokeballs and potions, and, like, just not a very good memory. And you'd think that, like, recording would make it worse, but, because now I have to add that new element of, like, talking to an audience while trying to recall things, but I feel like it makes it better, because I'm trying harder to remember things. Don't bring any bugs or fire Pokemon in here. So just keep that in mind, guys. Like, I may seem like I have a terrible memory in recordings, but in real life, like, even without recording, my memory is probably even worse, because this is me trying my legitimate best to recall things. Like, in a recording, I don't want to, despite the fact that it happens all the time, I don't want to forget what I'm talking about in the middle of a sentence. So, in a recording, I am specifically trying not to do that. In, like, my normal day-to-day life, that happens much more often, because I'm just, like, talking, I'll be talking to my brother or something, or I'll be on a thought, and I'll be like, I have to buy potions, and then 10 seconds later, I'm like, hey, look, a Pokemon! Let me think about this Pokemon, I remember when I saw this Pokemon, or I remember this Pokemon does this, and then I get all sidetracked. At least in a recording, there is more, like, I feel it is more important for me to remember what I'm talking about. Because, like, if it's my own thoughts in my own head that I'm trying to recall while I'm thinking about something else, then obviously it's, like, not a problem. When I'm talking to my brother about something and I'm playing a video game, it's slightly more of a problem if I forget, because then all of a sudden whatever conversation I was having with him is, like, gone. But when I'm just thinking, like, when I'm just, like, thinking about something else while playing a video game, and then all of a sudden, like, I forget what I was thinking about because I start thinking about something else, like, that is not as big a problem, obviously, because no one's hearing it. No one hears me go, and then forget what I was talking about. In a recording, if I forget, everybody's gonna hear me go, and forget what I'm talking about. So, like, in a recording, it is a much bigger thing, so I feel that I try harder to avoid that happening. Oh, you! But clearly I am not very good at it, because it still happens all the time. Anyway, here's the gym leader. At long last. Hello. Lovely weather, isn't it? It's so pleasant. Oh dear, I must have dozed off. Welcome. My name is Erika. I am the leader of the Celadon Gym. I teach the art of flower arranging. My Pokemon are of the grass type. Oh, I'm sorry. I had no idea that you wished to challenge me. Very well, but I shall not lose. I find that so, like, odd. Like, I feel like the fact that she's giving me her entire resume shows that she knows I'm gonna challenge her. Like, it just seems so weird to me that she, like, says, like, her entire resume, she's like, this is the gym, this is the Celadon City Gym, I'm the gym leader, I use grass-type Pokemon, I'm an expert at flower arranging, and then she's like, oh wait, you want to fight me? Okay. Like, it's like, you were telling me all your credentials, you're telling me like, oh, I use grass-type Pokemon, I'm the leader of this gym. And you thought I wasn't gonna fight you? Like, why would you just tell that to a random stranger who you thought wasn't gonna fight you? Like, if I was talking to someone, if I was a gym leader, and I was talking to someone who I thought didn't want to fight me, I would start with the flower ranging. Like, why did you start with being like, this is the Celadon City Gym? Because, like, surely they would, why would you say this is the Celadon City Gym? Like, even if they are challenging you, like, why would you say it's the Celadon City Gym? If they are challenging you, then you wouldn't say it's the Celadon City Gym, because they already know that. They came here for a gym battle, if they're challenging you. Either that or they just walk. Yeah, well, yeah, they had to know that this is the Celadon City Gym. If they're challenging you, then you don't need to say that, because they already know. If you think they're not challenging you, then why would you start with this is the Celadon City Gym when they probably don't care and are just here to like ask about your personal life or something? It's like, why would you talk about Celadon City Gym and then segue into flower ranging? It's like, whoever cares about flower ranging probably doesn't care about you being the gym leader, and whoever cares about you being the gym leader probably doesn't care about flower ranging. They're like mutually exclusive things, you know? Like, that seems like different things that you would use on a different audience. So I don't know why she would bring both up to you. If she thought you are not, if she thinks that you are not here to challenge her, then I don't know why she'd bring up the flower ranging. If she thinks that you are here to challenge her, I don't know why she'd bring up, wait. If she thinks you're not here to challenge her, I don't know why she would bring up the gym leader thing, the gym thing. If she thinks you are here to challenge her, then I don't know why she would bring up the flower ranging. Either way, it doesn't really make sense. And I feel like she's just giving us a resume to prove that, she's talented, you know? Because it's like, I just feel like that's not something, like, talking about what type she uses and the fact that she is the leader of the gym is not something she would say to, like, a normal person, like, the minute they started a conversation. So, it just feels like she's like, she's telling us about the fact that she's the gym leader and playing it off as if she didn't mean to. Like, she's like, she knows we're a challenge. In my opinion, I feel like she knows we're a challenger. She's trying to intimidate us by telling us, like, hey, I'm the gym leader and I use grass-type Pokemon, and I'm an expert in the art of flower arranging, because for some reason she thinks that's intimidating. And, she's, like, trying to, intimidate us, and then, like, play it off as just, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you meant to challenge me, when in reality, she knew exactly what we were doing. She knew we were here to challenge her, and then she was just, like, giving us a resume prior, only to say, like, oh, wait, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you were challenging me. But anyway, we defeated Pansy! Oh, I concede defeat. You are remarkably strong. I must confer to you the Rainbow Badge. The Rainbow Badge will make Pokemon up to level 50 obey. It also allows Pokemon to use Strength in and out of battle. Please also take this with you. Should make room for this. Frick! I don't have any space in my inventory, so I'm going to need to get rid of something. I might have something that I could use, like actually on a Pokemon that would be helpful, or I might have to just throw out something. I think I just have to throw out something. I obviously can't throw out HMs. I don't think I can. I would never anyway, because, like, obviously I'm going to need those if, like, any of my Pokemon ever get sent to, like, the PC because they die or anything. I'm gonna actually, like, see if I can use a TM here. Because we have a few TMs, and we have a few Pokemon that need moves. Specifically Kyle. Let's see what Kyle can get, because currently, Absorb and Acid are not doing it for me. So let's see if we can get a better special attack here, because I'd imagine that Gloom is a special attacker. I don't even have to check. I know that Gloom must be a special attacker. TM34, Nightshade. Okay, Nightshade is physical, but its damage is always the same, regardless of, like, physical or special attack. So it would have been good, but Kyle is not good. Kyle cannot learn it. What is Alice? Alice is who? Alice is the Haunter? Is Alice the Haunter? Because in that case, Nightshade I would say stab, but I need to stop doing that. I need to stop doing that. Why did I got rid of Bubble Beam. I'm freaking spamming A, I'm mashing A, I expected to be like, you want to learn this TM? Yes. And then I press it again, I have to press it again in order to actually teach it to the Pokemon. But no, it just shows right up, and then I end up deleting the first move. I need to stop doing that. But Focus Energy, that is literally useless. Fantastic. So we just got rid of Bubble Beam on our Haunter. for Nightshade. And any other ghost type move, I'd have been like, oh yeah, great, now we have stab over that special attack. But the thing is, literally, we had stab, like, ordinarily I'd be like, we have stab over that special attack move that was not stab. But the fact of the matter is, it's Nightshade, so the stab doesn't even matter. It always does the same amount of damage. Oh my gosh. Another, like, terrible, move removal, because I simply was clicking too fast. Hydro Pump. Okay, so I'm going to take this very slowly. I'm going to give it to... Wait a minute. Wait 1 second. Oh my. Oh my gosh. I hope Lucy is the Pokemon that I think Lucy is. Because in that case, Lucy's gonna get some usage now. Lucy's gonna get some usage now! Our Water-type Pokemon with only Scratch and Hydro Pump. Forget Water Gun, we just skip right to Hydro Pump. Now that's good. Almost makes up for the fact that I taught Alice Nightshade over Bubble Beam. Almost. Not. It doesn't. But it almost gets there. Just a few more things and I might be able to forgive myself for that. A few more good things occurring and I might be able to forgive myself for that horrible mistake I just made. But yeah, so now that we've beaten Erika's gym, we can get down to the reason why we're here. The main reason. Obviously, the gym was a reason, because we need to beat that to beat the game. But why we came here in the first place was to get the Self Scope. What are you staring at? I'm staring at you, sir. The Team Rocket member walking around in the city like they own the place, which they do, actually. Kind of. They own, Lavender Town. Saffron? More? I believe Saffron is where Sabrina is. Sabrina is just, like, the creepiest gym leader, especially in the anime, so I don't know why that, like, I don't know what's so creepy about, like, Saffron. I feel like it would make sense if it would make more sense if their gym was, if their, town was called Lavender, and the creepy town was called Saffron, because in my opinion, Lavender is just a creepier name, and Saffron is just a creepier town, but whatever. I blew it all at the little slots. The schlots? I knew I could have cashed in my coins for prizes. Yeah, okay, so this guy is talking about the casino, which is right up here. And in this game, you can actually gamble here. That's right, underage gambling. Teach them while they're young, Nintendo. But, the more important thing for our purposes is the fact that this Team Rocket member is staring at this poster, which hides behind it a switch, which will bring us down to Team Rocket's base. However, I just realized I need to heal before I go down there. So I will go do that real quickly. But yeah, I mean, the music would tell you otherwise, but I feel like Saffron is just, like, the creepier town. Like, Lavender Town definitely in terms of music, and, like, yeah, it is filled with, it has a Pokemon Tower with ghosts in it. But, like, at the same time, Saffron is a town invaded by Team Rocket with a gym leader who turns people into dolls. So, like, I feel like Saffron has the more creepy vibes, not gonna lie. Like, I don't think I think that if you haven't watched the anime, then Lavender Town is definitely creepier, but if you watch the anime, like, you fear Saffron City. You fear Sabrina. And me personally, yes, I fear Sabrina. Sabrina is, like, the creepiest gym leader ever, purely because of the anime. I'm sorry, Ghost-type gym leaders, none of you beat her. I'm guarding this poster. Go away, or else. So this guy battles us because he says he's guarding this poster, which is an odd reason to get all defensive. If you never played this game, it may seem like an odd reason. However, the thing about this poster is, as I said, it hides a switch. And once you flip that switch, it will reveal a staircase down to Team Rocket's base. Because Team Rocket, while they are not as influential in this town as they are in Saffron City, where they're, like, literally walking around the place, and they work with a big old, like, company. They work for, like... Actually, is Selfco even here? No, Selfco isn't even here. Do I need to go even more? Wait. How do you get the Self Scope in this game? Because I was like, oh yeah, okay, yes, you do get the Self Scope here. I was gonna say, Selfco is in Saffron. So, like, thought you got the Self Scope here. You do get the Self Scope in this town. Giovanni gives you the Self Scope once you beat this Team Rocket hideout. And then, later on, you go to Selfco, and at Selfco, they give you the Master Ball. Sylph Co is not actually where you get the Sylph Scope. You get the Sylph Scope from Giovanni, who is the leader of Team Rocket, because Team Rocket is working with Sylph Co. But we don't know that at this point in the game. At least I don't think we do. But currently at this point, we are trying to get into Team Rocket's hideout, which is actually under the casino, which I think is funny, because gambling is the root of all evil. So, it makes sense. In a funny sort of way, it makes sense. But basically, we go down here, and then he gives us the Sylph Scope, which we may or may not know that they're working with Sylph Co. yet. But if we don't, then that's a hint. If we do, then it makes sense that we get the Sylph Scope, because they might have the manager of Sylph Co. right with them in the room while we're fighting Giovanni. I don't remember. Maybe that's in Sylph Co. Maybe that's not. I don't know. Dang. All he has to say is dang. Our hideout might be discovered. I better tell boss. See, the thing is, the really funny thing is that, like, by going to tell the boss that your hideout might be discovered, you just ensured that your hideout would be discovered, because you just walked over here and now you disappeared. So now the player's like, oh, so there must be, like, some sort of... Where did he go? I wonder what he was guarding. And then they flip this. And it's like, oh, a switch behind the poster? Let's push it. And then all of a sudden they walk over to where the guy just walked. And oh, look, you just revealed to me your secret location by telling the boss that your secret location might be revealed. Now that is ironic. So we are going to head in there. I don't think we need to heal again before doing so. No, none of our Pokemon actually took any damage in that fight with the Team Rocket member. That's great. And, guys, I will leave Team Rocket's hideout till the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching, EV Clan. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This is Alex Espion, signing off.